In today's video, we're going to be talking about adding and subtracting fractions, which means we get to talk about the common denominator. So when you're adding and subtracting fractions, you have to have a common denominator. This isn't something that you need with multiplying or dividing. So this takes a little bit more work, and I'm going to show you what we do. So we're going to find the common denominators for these two problems here. So basically, I'm trying to get, for this first problem, I'm trying to get this 3 and this 6 to be the same number. So I'm going to go ahead and list out my multiples of 3 and 6. I'm actually going to start with 6 because it's bigger, and it's going to make my life a little bit easier. So if I do 6 times 1, it's going to be 6. If I do 6 times 2, it's going to be 12. I've already gone too far, because in this 6, I know that I have a 3. So if I do the same thing with 3, 3 times 1 is 3. Well, there's not 6 whole pieces in that 3, so that's not big enough. But 3 times 2 is 6, so I'm good to go. So my common denominator here is going to be 6, because that's the first time those numbers repeat. So I've got 6 and 6, so here my common denominator, common denom is 6, right? Okay, same thing on the other side, but now you have a 4th and 2/7. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and write out my multiples of 7. This is just the chart I like to use, so I'm going to do 7 and 4. And then like here's 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. You can think, does 4 times any whole number equal 14? It doesn't, so keep going. 7 times 3 is 21. Still nothing. Now when I get to 4, which is this other number I'm looking for here, I know I shouldn't have to go past that. So 7 times 4 is 28. All right, now if I do the same thing with 4, I'm going to add a few more multiples here. Go up to 7. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3, 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5, 20. 4 times 4, 24. And then 4 times 7, 28. That's the first time, or that's the first number from both lists that appear in both lists. Yeah. So I'm looking for whatever number appears in both lists first. So that's why over here I had a 6 as the first number that I see coming up multiple times. So 7 and 4, my common denominator is going to be 28. Now remember those, we're going to solve these problems on the next slides. Okay, and then we'll do some more, so if you're still a little lost, hang in there with me. We'll get it. All right, so remember our common denominator here is 6, which means I need both of these denominators to become a 6. This one's good. I'm ready. This one's not. Let's fix it. So I have 2/3, so I want 2/3 to become something over 6. Because I know I'm looking for a common denominator 6. So we need to think, we got 3 times what gives me that 6? A 2. So I'm going to multiply, I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 2. So times 2, because 3 times 2 already gives me that 6. We're good. But now 2 times 2, that gives me a 4. So now I have 4 over 6. I'm good to go. So I'm going to rewrite my whole problem as 4 over 6 plus 1 over 6. And look, I have a common denominator. Because what we do with common denominators, you just rewrite it. I don't have to do anything to that 6 now. The work is getting the numbers to be the same. So 4 plus 1, that's the only math I really have to do at this step. I got 4 plus 1, which is 5, over 6. If you need to simplify, please do. I don't here, so we're good to go. 6 over 5, and that's your answer. All right, we're going to do the same thing for that second problem we saw. We said the common denominator was 28. So I'm going to change this 1/4. I'll do this on this side. So I need 1/4 to become something over 28. Okay, so think 4 times what gives me 28. If you want to go back to our chart, remember 4 times 7 gave us that 28. Sometimes the chart might be helpful. It's up to you. So I'm going to multiply both again, top and bottom, by that 7. So 7 on top, 7 on bottom. It's got to be the same number every time. So 1 times 7 gives me a 7. And again, 4 times 7 should give me that 28. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to do the same thing with the 2 sevenths. So 2 sevenths. And I'm trying to get that to equal something over 28. So think 7 times what gives me 28. Again, useful timetables here. 7 times 4. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 4. Okay, that's where my 4 happens twice. 4 times 2, or 2 times 4, excuse me, same thing, is 8. All right, now I'm going to rewrite this. So now I have 7 over 28 minus 8 over 28. Whoops, excuse me. I'll just use that as my equal sign. There we go. Remember, common denominators, don't do anything with them, just rewrite it. Equals something over 28. So now I'm going to do the top numbers. I've got a 7 minus 8. That's okay. I just have a -1. Not a big deal. Okay. We're just going to leave it at that. You might also write it as the negative in front. If you haven't started working with negatives yet, oh, sorry. There you go, negative in front. Don't panic if you haven't worked with negatives yet. There's not many in this lesson. In fact, that's the only one. All right, so just make sure you do whatever the sign is in the middle. So like you have these two. Let's change our fractions into improper fractions first, our mixed numbers into impropers. So we have 8 times 2 and then plus 5, so times, so 16, plus your 5, 21 over 8, excuse me, and then plus 4 over 3. So now I got to find a common denominator, which is going to see, let's see, go through your list of 8. Maybe you don't need to write it down. So 8 times 1 is 8, don't have a 3 in there. 8 times 2 is 16, I don't have a 3 in there. 8 times 3, there's literally a 3 in there because I'm putting it there, sorry, is going to be 24. So I'm going to have 21 times, or over 8, excuse me, times something equals something. Here we go. Let's see, what am I trying? I said 24. Sorry. So 8 times what gets me 24? 3. So 3 on top. So 21 times 3 is going to be 63. Okay, so that is what my first fraction becomes. And then now my 4 over 3, same idea. I need it to be something over 24. So think, 3 times what gives you 24? 8. Okay, so 8 on top and bottom. 4 times 8 gives you 34. So now I'm going to add these two fractions together. So 63 over 24 plus 32 over 24. Okay, remember, common denominator, you just rewrite it. Don't do anything with the 24. Don't add them. Don't do it. Just rewrite it. Then 63 plus 32 is, let's see, 95. 95 over 24. All right, you're welcome to leave it like that. If you want to rewrite it as a mixed number, you can. I'm just going to rewrite it as an improper fraction. All right, we're going to do the same thing on this side. So I've got 15, 5 times 3, plus 3, so 18 over 5 minus 2 times 1 plus 1, 3 halves. So as I'm doing this one, I need to think 5 and 2. What's a common denominator? What multiple do they have in common? And that's going to be 10. So 18 over 5 times something over something equals something over 10. 5 times 2 equals 10. So 2 top and bottom. 18 times 2 is 36. Okay. And then my 3 halves times something is going to equal something over 10. So I've got 2 times 5 equals 10. So 5 on top. 3 times 5 equals 15. Alright, so I'm going to subtract those. 36 over 10 minus 15 over 10 equals 21 over 10. And again, you're welcome to write that as a mixed number. I'm going to leave it as an improper. Okay? All right, I believe I have one more. Yeah, go ahead and pause the video. Try these on your own. Try to find the common denominators first. And I will go ahead and actually do that part now. So pause it if you haven't and solve them. Try it. All right, common denominator for the first one, your common denominator is going to be 15. Okay, so I'm going to try to get everything to be a 15. So I'm not going to rewrite it because I know some students write it like this where it's on the problem itself, and that's fine with me. So 5 times 3 is going to get me that 15. So you've got 27, that's my 9 times 3, over 15. And same thing over here. 3 times what gives me 15? 5. So I'm going to do times 5 over 5. Got my bar there, that's okay. So that's going to be plus 20 over 15 equals 47 over 15. Okay. Other thing, when you're adding, you don't cross cancel. Adding and subtracting do not cross cancel. So if you've seen our other videos on that, that's cool, but it's just for multiplying and dividing. All right, and then your other one here, your common denominator is going to be 28, just like it was on the last one. So we've got, let's see, 21 plus 6, so 27 over 7 minus 11 over 4. Now let's get those to be common denominators. So 7 times 4 gives me 28. So 27 times 4 is a large number. Let's see, 108. Remember, if you need to go off to the side, that's fine. Multiply. All right, and then the other side, we're going to multiply 7 over 7, and you're going to get minus 77 over 28. Again, common denominators, just rewrite it. Don't do anything else with it. And then 108 minus 77 is going to give you a 31 over 28, and you are all done. Okay, so practice finding your common denominators because that's going to be very important when you're adding and subtracting. All right, that's it for this video. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.